Have you ever seen someone pour their heart, skill, and every last ounce of hope into saving something valuable, only to be told they didn't deserve a single dollar for their work? Imagine being a single father who spent weeks rebuilding a damaged private jet, believing honesty and hard work would provide a better life for his little daughter. Then, in one cold meeting, powerful executives refused to pay him, laughing as they walked away. But they made one mistake they never saw coming. They underestimated the one thing money could never buy: respect. And when every pilot at the airport refused to fly that jet, the people who thought they had all the power suddenly found themselves begging the very man they had betrayed. Before we begin, if you enjoy heartwarming stories about courage, kindness, and people who never give up, please take a moment to subscribe to Echoes of Stories, like this video, and leave a comment telling us where you're watching from. Your support helps us share more inspiring stories with people all around the world. Ryan Carter had never expected life to become so difficult. 3 years earlier, he had lost his wife to a sudden illness, leaving him to raise his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, alone. Every morning he packed her lunch, walked her to school, and then headed to the airport maintenance hangar where he worked as an aircraft mechanic. Ryan was known for being the kind of mechanic who could fix almost anything. Old pilots trusted him. Young mechanics admired him. He never rushed a repair because he believed every bolt he tightened could save someone's life. Money was always tight. Some nights Ryan skipped dinner so Lily could have her favorite meal. Yet he never complained. His daughter was his reason to keep moving forward. One rainy afternoon, a luxury private jet arrived at the hangar after suffering serious damage during a rough landing. The aircraft belonged to a wealthy investment company led by a proud CEO named Victor Langston. Several repair companies refused the job because it was too complicated and required countless hours. Ryan looked carefully at the damaged aircraft before quietly saying, "I can save it." The executives agreed. They promised fair payment if he completed the impossible repair within 4 weeks. Ryan worked day and night. He stayed late after everyone else had gone home. Sometimes Lily sat in the corner of the hangar doing homework while her father repaired wiring, replaced damaged parts, and carefully inspected every system. She often smiled and said, "Daddy, you're going to fix it." Ryan always smiled back. "I have to." For exhausting weeks later, the jet looked brand new. Every system passed inspection. The engines purred perfectly. Even experienced pilots admitted they had rarely seen such incredible craftsmanship. Ryan felt proud, not because of the airplane, but because he knew the payment would finally allow him to catch up on rent, replace Lily's broken bicycle, and maybe even take her somewhere special during summer vacation. The next morning, the executives returned. Ryan handed them every inspection report along with the final invoice. Victor barely looked at the papers before pushing them aside. "We've decided we're not paying." Ryan stared at him. "There must be some mistake." Victor smirked. "You should be grateful we gave you the opportunity. Consider this experience." The room fell silent. Ryan's hands shook, but he remained calm. "I completed every repair exactly as promised." Victor shrugged. "Take us to court if you want." The executives laughed as they walked away. Ryan stood alone beside the jet he had rebuilt with his own hands. That evening he sat quietly at home. Lily noticed the sadness in his eyes. "Did something bad happen?" Ryan forced a smile. "We'll be okay." The following morning, something unexpected happened. The first pilot assigned to fly the jet reviewed the maintenance records and quietly refused. "I won't fly unless the mechanic who rebuilt it confirms everything was handled properly." Management insisted the paperwork was enough. The pilot shook his head. "I trust Ryan, not paperwork." A second pilot arrived. He gave the exact same answer. Then a third. Soon every experienced pilot at the airport had heard what happened. None of them wanted to reward a company that cheated the mechanic whose work they trusted with their own lives. Within hours the expensive jet remained parked exactly where Ryan had left it. Every delay cost the company thousands of dollars. Meetings were cancelled. Clients became angry. Business partners started asking uncomfortable questions. Victor couldn't believe what was happening. He offered bonuses to pilots. No one accepted. One senior captain finally looked Victor in the eyes. "You refuse to respect the man who rebuilt this airplane. If you don't value his integrity, why should we trust yours?" For the first time, Victor had no answer. 3 days later, Ryan was quietly working on another aircraft when Victor entered the hangar. His expensive suit looked less impressive than before. He walked slowly toward Ryan. "We need to talk." Ryan continued working. "I'm listening." Victor took a deep breath. "We made a mistake." Ryan remained silent. "We'll pay the full amount." Ryan finally looked at him. "The money isn't the biggest problem." Victor frowned. "You embarrassed my daughter when I had to explain why her bicycle would have to wait. You treated honest work like it had no value." The CEO lowered his head. "I understand." Ryan thought for a long moment before speaking. "If you truly understand, then pay every mechanic who worked overtime on this project. Every one of them deserves recognition." Victor agreed immediately. By the end of the week, every mechanic received full payment along with bonuses. The company also introduced new policies guaranteeing fair contracts for maintenance workers. Months later, Victor returned to the hangar once again. This time he wasn't there for business. He brought Lily a brand new bicycle along with a handwritten apology. Ryan accepted it, not because he had forgotten the pain, but because he believed kindness could change people when pride could not. Lily hugged her father tightly. "You always said doing the right thing matters." Ryan smiled. "It always does." Years later, pilots still spoke about the mechanic whose honesty grounded an entire jet until fairness finally won. They never remembered the company's wealth. They remembered one father's integrity. Because kindness isn't weakness. Respect isn't free. And sometimes the greatest victories don't come from getting even, they come from proving that honesty, compassion, and courage are stronger than greed. If this story touched your heart, remember that every act of kindness has the power to change someone's life, even when no one else is watching. Treat people fairly, appreciate honest work, and never underestimate the quiet strength of doing what is right. One small act of kindness today could become someone else's reason to keep believing tomorrow.